Hi, welcome to my channel, The Pink Trellis. I'm Gina. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. It's time for part 2 of my Hoya collection. A bit of show and tell for you all. Let's get started. Hi, I'm back for part 2 of my Hoya collection. And we're going to start with the Hoya Obovada. And as you can see, this one is doing extremely well. I got this one last spring, I believe, and this whole part is new. This whole thing is new. All this up here is new. There's lots of new growth points on this plant. Lots of little leaves coming in. Where are we here? Here we are. This sits in it hangs in a hanging basket in a southeast facing window, and super easy plant to care for. Hoya Obovada. Next up is a real cutie. It's I love the small leaf Hoyas, and this is Hoya Serpens. And this is actually a newer plant for me. I just got it 2 weeks ago, I think. And it was a rooted plant. Hoya Serpens. All right, the next one we're looking at is a Hoya Hindu rope. This is the variegated version. It's a really pretty one. So pretty that I actually have two. This one I think I got them both at the same time, and that was last year sometime, probably around spring last year. I did get a bunch of plants last spring, so that's the one. This one sits in a southeast facing window, and it hangs in a basket. This is my other one. I think this one has more variegation on it. And it has a lot of pink too, which I love the pink. This one also hangs, and it's in a northwest facing window. So it'll be interesting to see how the two grow. If one does better than the other, I don't know. We shall see. So far, they seem to be about the same as far as growth. Hoya Carnosa Compacta Variagata, or Hoya Hindu rope, variegated. All right, the next one is a Hoya Vertisolata Variagata. And of course, I just really drawn to the variegation on this, and really looking forward to watching this one grow. I got this one end of January this year, so it's new to me, but so far it seems to be a pretty typical Hoya as far as care. It sits on a cabinet in my office under grow lights, and it's doing well. Hoya Vertisolata Variagata. This next one has been a bit of a challenge for me. This is Hoya Rotunda Flora, and I got this one last year around springtime, and I believe it was just these two leaves right here. And got all of this growth, And I've even propagated it and did great all through the summer. And then fall came and winter and it started looking kind of bad. So I have stuck this in a greenhouse situation, hoping that the extra humidity might make a difference for it. So far, I don't see much change, but it's also not getting worse. So I think this one just needs higher humidity, more water, and I failed in both. So I'm hoping I can save it. I do have cuttings that I'm growing, so we shall see. But I love it. I love the leaf shape. It's a very neat Hoya. Hoya Rotunda Flora. All right, this next one, this is Hoya Yeti Variagata. And it started as, I believe it was these two leaves right here. And this started last spring 2021, and even getting some new leaves. It kind of had a slow point, and now it's growing again, so maybe it's since the spring. But these two are the newest leaves. Hoya Yeti Variagata. This is my Hoya Croniana black, and I showed you the Super Silver and the Eskimo, I think it's called. Super Eskimo? No, it's not a Super Eskimo. It's just Croniana Eskimo. This one, same care as those. It can handle normal room humidity. It just sits on a shelf and does pretty well. And you can see I've got some new leaves coming in. Really neat. You can see the black. Hoya Croniana black. All right, these next two are cuttings that I'm rooting in sphagnum moss. So this first one is a Hoya and Glariana. It reminds me a lot of the Cumingiana, which I've had for a long time. Cute little leaves on this one. I know this needs higher humidity, which might be a bit of a challenge for me. I'll probably have to keep it in like a greenhouse situation, which isn't my favorite thing, because I like having my plants out in rooms so I can enjoy them. But I wanted this plant, so I do what I have to do to be able to keep it alive and happy. Hoya and Glariana. The other cutting I'm rooting is a Hoya Chinghungensis. I think this is another one that needs the higher humidity, so this one also will have to be in a greenhouse type situation, or maybe like a terrarium. I like terrariums, so we'll see. But I am getting there is a little bit of growth already, so I'm sure it's nicely rooted, but I'm gonna let it sit a little bit longer. I like to get at least a couple new leaves before I pot it up. Hoya Chinghungensis. All right, this next one is my pride and joy, and it's kind of large. Oh, I can't even get this in the frame all the way. This is my Hoya Carrii. Last time I showed you my Carrii Variegata. I've had this one for 2 years, and I struggled with it actually in the beginning because I wasn't giving it enough light, but I finally found its sweet spot, and this is what it's done. I've got some new leaves coming in. It's a behemoth, but I love it. Hoya Carrii. So that's all I have with me in this room. Now we're gonna have to go take a walk to go see a couple of plants that are just actually, I think it's just one. No, two. Two plants that are just, they're too large or just a pain to take down to bring them in here to show you. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna go take a look at them. This is my Hoya Hindu rope. It hangs in a southeast facing window. It's very awkward to remove from the basket, so I never remove it. I've had this plant for over 2 years, and it's been a very easy to care for plant. I don't even give it any supplemental humidity, and it still does really well for me. Hoya Compacta or Hoya Hindu rope. You've already seen this Hoya Obovada and variegated Hindu rope, but I just wanted to show you where they are situated in my house. This is a southeast facing window. Here's one you haven't seen yet. This is my Hoya Australis. One of my favorites for sure. I think it wants to take over my house. It's not even that close to a window, yet it still grows amazingly well. It has many new leaves on the way as well. Hoya Australis. Now I'll show you where the rest of my Hoyas we talked about today live in my house. I do see a couple of plants I forgot to show you guys. The one in the pink planter is a Sigillatus. I'm currently rooting this cutting. This is my second attempt with this type of Hoya. I've now learned it needs more water and higher humidity. And this one is my Hoya Sprinkles. It sits on my desk in a northeast facing window, and it seems to love life. A very easygoing Hoya. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. I would be so appreciative. Thanks again, and see you next time. Bye!